Cool. Yeah, I'll just play it. Yeah.
Play it so we can get in the zone.
Yeah, exactly. Play
just play it so we get in the zone. It's like walking down the tunnel.
We're playing basketball.
Or you can plug in that auxiliary cord too.
Oh, all right. You want me to do it?
Ooh.
That's right, everybody. Welcome to Pod Don't Lie with Sam and Stav. Episode, what are we at, 5 now?
I think we're 6.
Ooh, 6.
Oh, no,
Creeping
this is
up.
5. This is. I don't know.
That's
Depending
true.
on when this comes out.
That's true. We're doing a little magic, some
What a great
pre-recording.
original idea. 2 white guys talking about basketball.
That's right.
Wow.
Well,
who came up with this one?
Hey, we also talk about hip hop.
Never been Also, I love your logo.
Thank you.
You know your NBA Jam logo?
That's right.
Maybe it's my angle, but it looks like they gave Stav like a little bit more funny. Am I
No,
is
that's
it an optical
correct.
illusion, or is it like you got like 1 millimeter
Just
more?
a little bit
Just
more, baby.
Dude, fourth quarter funny. That's right. That's who we're going to in the fourth.
You're hearing our guest, the motherfucking Ronny Chieng in this bitch. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
Thanks for having me,
Of
man. I've been
course.
trying to get on this
Daily
fucking
Show.
thing since you started it.
That's right.
You never had me on.
Crazy Rich Asians. Stand
That's
up.
right.
So many places you know him from. This exciting
Threatening
guest.
us until we let him on the podcast.
You know me. The only thing you don't know me about is basketball, man. This is my jam. This is my jam.
Dude, I got so many texts from Ronnie.
Yes.
Of like, the all this team, the all that team, the all fat team, the all tough
I love
team.
it.
Okay, wait, we can't. Yeah, some of that stuff
Yeah.
got a little racist.
I stopped where I stopped for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, but I can compile the teams as good as anyone, man.
Yes,
or the
dude.
all-time great teams.
Yes. So we got Ronnie here. We're gonna talk a little bit later. We're gonna do the Pod Don't Lie bar fight all stars. The
love it.
motherfuckers you want in your corner.
Yes.
When shit gets real.
Yes.
We're going to go position by position. We got some nice motherfuckers coming up for you.
Mm-hmm.
I think before we get into that, we were just talking like our favorite video games. We're talking the live series. My favorite one, I still have it on GameCube, like I discussed, was the 2003 with Jason Kidd on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good one. But let's just talk, Ronnie.
GameCube.
I was a GameCube guy.
Damn,
GameCube
GameCube is
was
so
fun.
American.
Yeah. Oh, you never
Really?
had it?
GameCube is so American because it's harder to pirate the proprietary disc. So in Asia, piracy
That's
made,
your shit.
Yeah, made
Yeah.
made PlayStation and Xbox like blow up.
Right.
You couldn't pirate the GameCube stuff, so no one had it.
Oh shit.
And also the controllers were weird.
I like them. I got little fat hands.
Yeah, but the GameCube controllers were like a modern art design.
They
like
were
all the
cute.
buttons were different sizes. You had to like
They were rounded. It was nice.
It's like when you saw a video game controller in a movie and you're like, that's not real.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? It was-
exactly.
I liked it.
I
It was
like the
curvy.
I'm an Xbox controller guy. I like those.
See, I'm PlayStation. I go
Are
back
you?
to classic. I was a GameCube.
I
Anyway,
was NBA Live on PC.
Oh,
guy.
PC.
Yeah, you can download the updated rosters. That was right when
Wow.
the internet was first kind of coming out in
Yeah.
'98, and you could download the roster and like update your whole thing. It was crazy.
I was an
People
Nintendo-
put Jordan in it. I remember you could
Yes.
download the Jordan thing
That's
and put
right.
him in. Yeah,
back
Remember
when
when-
Jordan
remember
was
when
like,
they had-
I need more money to
yeah.
be in this motherfucker.
Jordan wouldn't put himself in a game.
But they'd have like a fake player named like
Number 23. They'd have number
and
23.
it'd be called like roster something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and you'd be like,
Yeah.
this is fucking. It's like when Barry Bonds was like above being in video games.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
you just fucking. It's for
But
the kids.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's for the kids, and he wouldn't do it. They wouldn't even make that unnamed roster player good. He wouldn't even be like Jordan level.
Oh,
He'd just
really?
be like generic. Yeah, he wasn't like Jordan level skill set.
I would go. I think you could go in and edit the players, couldn't you?
No, of course you could.
Yeah. So they it was understood. They made him look like Jordan. It's like, listen, go do your
Go
thing.
do your
we,
thing,
Yeah,
max
we
out your
wash our
stats.
hands of this, but
Love
that's
that,
interesting.
man.
I was always a Nintendo. I got into my first ever was Live 96. I want to say.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
and
I was crushed. I was like shooting 16 for 17 a game with Oakley.
Yeah.
It was
Thank
like
you, Ronnie.
a guy shooting up-
Ronnie's producing our show now, dude. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah,
you're
speak into
right.
the mic, Sam. Into your own podcast. Hey, Sam, for your own podcast, maybe you want to speak clearly into your own microphone.
I apologize to the listeners at home.
Yeah.
Our
yeah.
tiger dad,
Dude,
Ronnie.
This podcast really is. You need to ship this thing.
That's right.
I do NBA Live '98.
Okay.
And I used the Knicks because I loved the Knicks at that time.
Interesting.
And
Hell yeah.
I was unstoppable. Allen Houston fadeaway threes for some reason in that
Yes.
game was unstoppable. I would play multiplayer with other people, and they would rage quit in the third quarter. I made people leave in the third.
Nice, dude.
Because I could.
You're like a real Knicks game.
Dude.
Yeah, the opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting, dude. So yeah, you grew up. Where did you grow up? I know you were in Australia for a while,
Yeah,
but you were in Singapore.
Yeah,
cool.
this is mainly Singapore.
So this was mainly Singapore.
Yeah.
So and that's a big. They love basketball over there, right?
Yeah. But soccer is the main sport.
Right.
But Chinese people play basketball. It was like this weird racial thing. Like
Interesting.
Like if you're Chinese, you play basketball. If you're Malay, you play soccer.
Really?
Football, yeah. But I mean, obviously that's crossover. But
Of course.
but-
Ronnie and I have balled together.
Yeah.
Nice.
Ronnie's like a shutdown defender.
I love it.
Hits the
Hard
open
nose.
J.
Yeah.
Sam is being very kind. No, I'm a D&D guy.
D&D, no three.
No
Yeah.
three. It's just D&D. I'll
Dungeons
D-
and Dragons.
Dick and defense.
Sam
I'm
is
hard
really-
as shit. That's how I play defense. No one wants to rub up on my cock, so they take space.
Sam is really good, man.
I'm
Sam-
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
Sam is really
stretches.
good. Sam
Yes.
is like above rec level.
Yeah.
Hey,
No.
that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
come
not
on.
get carried away.
Come
here.
on, take the
Lanky ass-
compliment.
No, man.
Yeah. He's
yes.
got the Tim Duncan shot. He's got the
That's all I
long
have
arms.
is a bank shot.
fundamentals.
Yeah.
Which is infuriating because people think it's luck. And I'm like, that's the only shot I have.
Practice.
I'm making it.
I practiced the lamest shot in the game. Yeah.
It's like having a hook shot. You're just like, fuck you.
What? Well, yo, bring back the hook shot, man. Bring back the hook
Why
shot
not?
and bring back the Barry underarm free throws.
Kareem is the all-time leading scorer for a reason. It's
Yeah.
unguardable.
Yeah, but it's just that
He's
whole.
also 7, 2. And
Yeah,
it's
but why
little
can't a big
different.
man just get that shot? I don't
yeah.
know.
Yeah, man. This is a Bill Simmons idea, but it's just that this AAU basketball is like it's creating all these clones of like people who play the same game, so no one
Right.
has any like real outstanding characteristics anymore. Like Kevin McHale under the basket in his post game, he had
Sure,
like
sure,
multiple combos,
The little feints and the
yeah,
little
he had every.
Well, no one plays post anymore at
Right.
all. But I know what you mean. Every kid now is like pulling up from like 35.
So annoying.
It's like
Yeah.
like LaMelo. Remember a LaMelo Ball taking just taking half court shots
Yeah.
and making them to his credit. Like he
Yeah.
was making them. So it's
Yeah.
like I wonder what's gonna happen.
I just feel like the game there used to be more kind of personal characteristics of players more so than now.
Sure.
I think, yeah.
People were quirky. that doesn't happen anymore. It's all like sort of
Fundamentals,
homogenized.
But,
yeah.
but defense is coming back because look, the Raptors beat the Warriors, so maybe it's
Well, don't you think that this year?
I feel like the Warriors lost more than the Raptors beat them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah.
I mean, if they had KD, certainly, but without KD, who knows? I mean, even with KD, you never. I was very interested in that series, and we kind of got robbed of like a potential classic. But Kawhi also was kind of he was kind of fucked
Yeah,
up too.
Toronto winning it for everyone, winning it for non-Americans.
That's right.
Winning it
Sure.
for Drake, winning it for Kawhi, winning it for Canadians, winning it for Toronto. They did for everybody, man.
right.
They
Kawhi-
did for everybody. Toronto. Yeah.
I saw a picture of Kawhi.
Did it for Asians. Jeremy
right.
Lin was there. Yeah,
That's right. He
true.
was there.
Yeah.
He can't be on. He's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, but it's okay,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Just win that, get a ring. Yeah.
So what was it? How did you sort of get into basketball? You were just like a kid in the '90s and just
Yeah,
like,
my dad was
fucking-
into it, and then
Oh, cool.
and then I joined up with my primary school basketball team,
Hell
but I was
yeah.
like on the bench. I was like reserve. Like
Yeah,
I didn't even have a
yeah.
jersey. that's how reserved I was. Yeah, and then slowly made my way onto the team, but was like
Right.
on the bench, like bench player for
Hell yeah.
the whole time. Yeah, so that's kind of how I got into basketball, and also because they would air NBA basketball on the network TV. in
Oh,
So
nice.
which
Yeah.
teams do you remember watching growing up?
It was the Bulls. They play a lot of Bulls,
Right.
And it'll be like 2 games a week. It'd always be Jordan, and I would watch. I watched the Bulls, and then I watched the Knicks. I think because when I got into basketball, they were kind of at their '90s peak.
Sure.
The Knicks, yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that was they were a very marketable team. Obviously, they were cool.
Yeah.
Ewing, just the whole hard nose,
Yeah.
fucking people up.
They
clotheslining
they had
people.
this underdog
them.
thing though for being New
For
York.
sure.
When they got into the finals, they were like the 8th seed, and then they went all the way to the finals.
Right,
Where Marcus Camby had to like play against Duncan, and he had to go against
Hakeem
Duncan
in
and
the
David
finals.
Robinson.
Yeah.
In the finals, I just remember Marcus Camby because Ewing was out. So
Oh,
Marcus Camby against he was like going up
Yes,
against the
yes.
Twin Towers alone.
And
Yeah.
we were there against Houston's that running teardrop again, where we upset Miami in the first.
Oh,
round.
yeah, that's right.
That
Huge.
was insane.
Yeah,
It
Houston
felt,
was great.
I hated Miami so much.
Oh, yeah.
They stole Riley from us. They were such fucking snakes.
Yeah.
It felt so good.
Yeah. Riley was just on a beach getting sucked off, dude. He couldn't. It was too. The
Miami.
pollution was too bad.
I
up
still
here,
remember, dude.
Yeah.
I still remember I was watching Monday Night Raw during that finals run, and Shawn Michaels was from San Antonio.
Oh,
so,
shit.
So they had a whole heel thing where someone said something to him, and they guessed twice, and he goes, "Just like your New York Knicks, you're 0 for 2." I was like, "Fuck Shawn Michaels." I was
The Heartbreak Kid.
I was done with Shawn Michaels.
He sweet chin music your heart, dude. He did it. He did it to you then.
Yeah.
I still love Shawn Michaels.
I mean, he was great, but
The best.
it turned me on him.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
turned me
yeah.
sour.
Did you guys watch the Michael Jordan Bulls?
Of course.
I
yeah.
I was pretty young, I was like right in the I remember the tail end of it, but I wasn't like around.
Into it.
I was born in '89, so it
I
was,
remember rooting against his greatness. Like I was rooting for Utah to beat them that last year.
Yeah.
And then he hit that shot, and you were just like, all right.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the series that I fully remember.
Right.
That's the first one I do.
Right.
So like I caught it right at the end. I mean,
I
you
was
were
probably 10 years old at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
96.
but I also didn't come from a very basketball like heavy household. It was all soccer growing up. You know,
What?
yeah, Greek. I'm Greek.
Oh,
so it's
damn.
Like, so I literally found it all by myself.
We should talk football then.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause
for sure.
I'm all about the football.
I'm an Olympiacos guy.
Oh, you're
Yeah. Those
Of
are my
course you are.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah. The Jordan. I remember. So I got into basketball when Jordan came back from retirement the second time.
Right.
That's when I got into it.
Yes.
And then I remember watching him.
And they lost to Orlando that year.
They
remember?
lost Orlando, but I remember the next year when he was playing. I remember watching this team and going like, "Oh damn, we are like watching. We're never gonna see this again. You know, like
Right.
this is the last run of this guy."
Yeah.
I remember every game I watched, had that in my mind. It's the same way I feel about watching LeBron now. It's
Yes,
like every time you
certainly
see
right
LeBron,
now.
it's like even 5 years ago when he was at arguably a bigger peak.
Sure,
Like
he
I was just like,
definitely was,
man,
yeah.
you guys don't understand. Everyone needs to shut the fuck up and watch this right now.
Absolutely.
Everyone's bitching and.
I mean, the season when he almost shot 60%
It's
from
crazy.
the field,
And
it's just unbelievable.
It is unbelievable what this guy's doing on the court, and we're watching. And it's not just like a stat thing. It's like when you watch him play, he controls the game so well. He's like he distributes the ball. He's just watching this guy play. It's like it's honestly, I cannot exaggerate what a like amazing thing it is to witness this dude play basketball.
Absolutely.
Everyone's yeah.
Sorry to cut you off. As much of a hater, because I definitely am a Golden State hater.
Yeah.
That when
Same
they
thing.
were gone, I was like, when they got totally decimated, I was like, damn, I already kind of
when
miss
Clay
it.
went down, I was kind of like,
This
oh,
sucks.
we underappreciated them.
totally, immediately.
That's so fucking New York.
Yeah.
The moment this guy tears his ACL, the second it snaps, you're like, oh fuck.
Oh, our bad.
never
Sorry,
appreciated
man.
it.
Like 30 seconds.
That's what it takes. That's what it takes for us to like you.
Yeah. We need your life to be as tragic as ours. We need your existence as shitty as ours.
But Clay was such. I mean, you realize how tough all those players are. Where Clay was like, "Put me back in," and he's like, his legs like
Clay's
half
unbelievable, dude.
You
Yo,
know?
Golden State completely underappreciated. They get way too much flack for supposedly building a super team when people don't give them enough credit for making what are the conditions created for them to have a super team.
Yeah,
all
okay,
these
that's-
players, all these players they drafted.
Right.
Sure.
These are drafts, man.
But
This
they
isn't
also got
built.
incredibly lucky with how the cap smoothing happened. There's no way they should
Yo,
have had
is it
Durant.
luck? Okay, luck or is it?
They did get lucky in
Strategy.
terms of
Okay.
of the money being available.
Yo, okay, then what? Every other team in the NBA couldn't get lucky. They didn't have the brains. The cap was for everybody. No one had the brains to execute.
at that year. But if it was any other year, they wouldn't even have been able
But
to
Ronnie's
mathematically.
right. But they drafted Steph.
Sure, they got
And I
Draymond in the
remember that
second
draft.
round.
Look at the Knicks were the
Passed
next
on him.
pick.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Oh, that's
pass.
right, they
we,
wanted him.
we were all cheering. That was the one time the Knicks fans were right.
Yes.
Usually the Knicks fans just boo.
Yeah.
But it's like, but I remember so many. of our
Timberwolves
draft
passed on him twice.
Johnny Flynn and Ricky Rubio. Johnny Flynn, who was out of the league immediately, they're like, "This is the right."
Two point guards. It wasn't even like they passed on him and got two different players. They got two
Johnny
point
Flynn,
guards.
yeah.
And then
He played in Australia. Johnny Flynn played
Oh,
in
yeah?
Australia.
And
the Knicks got what's his name? Jordan Hill.
Oh yeah.
who we traded for a T-Mac expiring.
Oh my god.
We paid T-Mac, which
That's
look,
so
as a
funny.
T-Mac fan growing up, I was like, we got T-Mac.
It
And I
was
like,
weird.
oh, 10 years too late.
T-Mac at the end was weird because you remember that Spur? Did he even win a championship technically?
No.
With the Spurs? No, he didn't. But I remember seeing him pop up in jerseys. Like it was weird.
I
man.
love T-Mac, and he's
cool.
great on air too. He's really
Yeah,
really
T-Mac's
good.
good. Yeah. But yeah, like Golden State's core, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson were drafted, and also they are the team that they're a good team. That's why they're
Sure.
like a super team.
Sure.
Any of these three parts, if you separate them to other teams, would they be anywhere as strong as they are right now?
You know what I think?
Meaning that the team
Yeah.
created a situation where they are able to maximize their potential because they play team basketball.
I think it's almost like weird to say, but I think Clay probably is the one that like you can put him anywhere and he'd be almost the same player, even if not a better player.
Because catch and shoot guys are
Sure.
just
And
like
they all
perfect.
here's another thing they got lucky with is that fucking Steph was hurt. He had his ankles were fucked up, so they signed him to the kind of extension that like a player like that. So they
You say
got
you
two lucky
you say
cap
you got lucky.
situations.
But do you remember that trade where it was like, do they trade Monte Ellis or do they trade Steph? Like, if that was a
Right.
question.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they didn't trade Clay for
They
Kevin
didn't trade
Love.
for
which was-
Kevin Love. They did. They stuck the team.
And obviously they have the right call, all that kind of shit. But
Also, Steph Curry.
it was annoying that Durant went there.
Yeah, but Steph Curry. Okay, that Durant thing going was because they had a good team situation. The ownership was good. The coaching was good. The team was good. So you attract star players. But
Sure.
okay, that's the only one where you can go. Okay, they piled on with Kevin Durant. But before that, people were like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
team's overpowered. It's like,
Before that, I was a big fan. I actually liked what they were doing.
Right.
But it was really the KD shit that was like, come on.
Oh, when they won the first ring, it was kind of cool.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It's like I was mad as a LeBron fan for like I just liked LeBron. I was mad because it's like he did get fucked in terms of injury. I mean, Matthew Dellavedova, Australian. He had a fucking 20-point game in the fucking finals. He was the second best player on a finals game.
Scrappy though.
I mean,
that
but
guy
it's
got
like
paid on your team too.
Yeah, he really did the
Do
most.
you feel a connection to the Australian players?
Yeah, I do. I try
Yeah.
to support them when I see them. Like Ben Simmons,
Yeah.
is killer. I really like Patty Mills.
Yeah,
really
he's
like
good.
who's this other guy who Dellavedova actually comes from a small
Sure.
town. It's really funny. He comes from a very small town in Victoria, which this other comic comes from as well.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah. So it's like
Interesting.
there's a
Delhi
weird
fans.
connection there.
Yeah.
Do you know Delhi?
No, I don't. I don't know Dellavedova. And there's one more Australian dude. I think Exum? Dante
Exum,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like the Australian team. It's like fun young guys who like,
Yeah.
and Australia's like crazy. It's like just a
Yeah.
crazy.
They should just
It's a
suit
weird
up Luke
place.
Longley now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with. I actually played basketball with retired Australian national team players.
Oh, really?
And it's like you can't play with them.
Yeah,
it's
they're
just too good.
unbelievable.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so it makes you really appreciate how good you have to be a professional basketball player in any country, any division.
And then when you think about the NBA, like
Yeah,
at
it's
the top
crazy.
of these people are just like
It's crazy.
Like you see them shoot, like when they're shooting, and it's like they're mad if it doesn't hit the exact point of the net that they wanted.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's like it's not enough to go in.
Yeah, who's that guy? White Mamba? Who's the White Mamba? Dude, Brian
Oh, yeah,
Scalabrine.
yeah, Scalabrine.
Dude, Scalabrine. My favorite NBA story is Brian Scalabrine retiring at 36 or 35 or something.
Yeah.
And then he goes into broadcasting with the Celtics. And every day he gets like this weird abuse of like, you are the worst player in the NBA. You blah blah. I could probably take you if anyone could beat you at the. And then finally, I think part of it was probably frustration. Part of it is also just let's make some content. He's
Yeah,
like,
of
all right,
course.
guys, send in your four. Send me your tapes of you playing.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
pick the 4 best ones. We're gonna play 1-on-1 and record it. And it's on YouTube.
It was beautiful.
Really?
It's on YouTube.
Oh,
You watch
beautiful.
it.
You've never
Like,
seen
I've
this?
never seen
yeah,
that.
he destroys these people.
That's awesome.
Also,
dude.
I interviewed him once at the Big Three, and he was such a cool guy.
Yeah,
of
he
course.
seems cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got like dark jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
he was just
yeah,
a
yeah.
cool
Yeah.
dude.
He looks like Rappaport.
Yeah.
For some
He does.
reason. Yeah, he does that. But it's interesting you bring up a Big Three. Roy Wood Jr. has a great take on the Big Three that like they should just call it the Goon League. And
Yeah.
I said like they should if there's a tie, they should just resolve it in a fight. The overtime for Big Three
Yeah.
should just be a fight.
It should be a fist fight or like a poker game. You know what I mean? It's like yeah.
It's
The
basically
table, people smoking cigars, and then an octagon just
Yeah.
right next to it.
They should be resolved by being like, who can talk their mistress into getting an abortion first? That's Classic NBA stuff.
I think of those Australian guys. I'm like, who else? Bogut's Australian.
Bogut is.
Bogut.
Bogut,
That's a big
that
one.
guy's fucking weird. Isn't he like weird and like alt-right and like
Is
he's a
he?
Reddit guy? Yeah, dude, he's tweeted some weird shit about
Really?
like he's mocked like trans people and like
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I'm not.
Damn.
I don't know him. I wouldn't. Again, a weird comedy connection. Bogut is the son-in-law of the comedy club owner in Melbourne.
Oh, really?
Really?
It's so crazy.
What's that?
yeah.
What's the
Like
that
a
called?
Comics Lounge. You've been
Yes,
there,
I
right?
played that. Yeah, I played there.
The
We
guy who-
did Cumtown shows there.
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Dude, Cometown is like huge in Australia.
Huge, dude. It's
Yeah.
crazy. We were over there. We had a huge. I was
I
like,
know.
is anybody gonna fucking come see us?
Yeah, no, it's
Sydney and fucking Melbourne. We sold out
Yeah.
the biggest clubs in the city. It was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It was
2
crazy.
shows.
Like even the comics know about you guys. Like
Yeah.
people be asking me if I.
We're friends.
Yeah, we're friends with you. They're like, oh hey, Ron.
That's so funny that you're on the Daily Show. They're like, do you know Cumtown?
It was because I did a show with Stav.
Yes, that was a
And,
fun show.
Yeah, it was a fun show in Brooklyn, and then I guess there was a photo.
That
or
was the
maybe
first
something,
show
and then
where my tooth fell out.
Oh,
you remember
really?
that? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I thought that was a
yeah.
bit. I thought
No,
that was
dude. I had this fucking flipper. I would wear it, and it got loose, and it fell out of my mouth. And then I had to just be like, I'm going to love with you people. I don't have a tooth. and then I
Dude,
lost it.
I thought it was a bit.
Not a bit, dude. It was not
was the first
planned.
time?
And then I
Wow.
lost it shortly thereafter. I just lost, and I've just been toothless ever since.
Wow.
But
You're really rocking it.
thank you, brother.
It's killing it. Yeah. But yeah, it was killer. The
Yeah.
Cometown stuff is killer.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that Andrew Bogut. I'm not surprised that he's kind of right wing. I
Yeah,
guess.
he's
I
he's
mean-
definitely on the right a
I
little
mean,
bit.
isn't he went to school in
Culturally.
Utah, right?
That's
yeah.
right.
He's also
First
Croatian.
overall pick.
Croatian.
He's
true.
like the Kwame Brown of Australia.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's a very
Yeah.
good player, but like number one
I don't know.
pick.
I think he's. Well, who else was in that draft? I think it was a justified number 1 pick.
It
I
was.
remember.
It was just a bad draft, and it was the tail end of centers being valued
Yeah,
as like
yeah.
franchise players.
Yeah.
So
But
many
it's like-
center busts.
And he's a good center.
He's
Like,
good.
You know, he's a great center.
He's the kind of
man.
guy that if you got him 5th or 6th, you're over the moon.
Yeah, yeah.
But you get him like 1st, you're almost like, Jesus, you want like a fucking
Like he's a first team. He's a starting center in the NBA. Is my point.
for
Yeah,
sure,
you know
and a
what I mean?
great all defensive,
Yeah.
unbelievable defensive player.
Yeah, if you know, like I can
and
think
smart,
of-
good passer.
yeah,
Yeah,
that Kwame Brown story is just crazy about Michael Jordan just abusing him
Yeah,
mentally until he.
yeah. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's one of the worst things
Yeah.
I've ever read.
Jordan drafted a fucking like child to abuse him. Just to like, it's almost like it's like
But yeah, Jordan should not be making any basketball decisions, like
Absolutely
any
not.
executive basketball decisions.
No.
Yeah.
yeah,
he
he's
should just be he's good owning the team, but then he just like hired fucking Mitch Kupchak. He's just like these Carolina connections. It's like,
He did.
That-
Yeah, yeah, makes cup.
yeah, dude, that's the GM. It's like he just knows him from UNC.
So the Aussies, you had Bogut. You had Luke Longley was like the first big
Luke
name
Longley,
NBA
yeah.
player, right?
What about that guy? What the fuck is his name? Andrew Gaze.
Andrew Gaze
Yes.
is like white Australian Jordan to them.
Yeah, dude.
Gaze is like their all-time hero. I know Gaze. I know him personally.
Oh, really?
I spoke to him. We talked on Twitter. I interviewed him once.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's the guy.
He's a good guy,
Paul
yeah.
was telling us about
Seton Hall,
Paul
right?
Morrissey. He went to Seton Hall as like he had already played professionally.
Yeah.
So it's like definitely illegal that he definitely broke NCAA rules that he played.
Probably not at the time.
No, there were. I looked into it. It's like
Oh.
they put like his salary in a trust. I mean, but they paid
No,
him, and
but
his
think
dad
about-
was also like involved with whatever team he was on. I don't
Okay,
remember.
the idea that these people have any pull with Seton Hall is crazy. First
Right,
of all. So
right.
the
Well, they
only-
saw him at the Olympics, I think.
Right.
Seton Hall saw him. Was
And
like,
if you're a white Australian dude in the early '90s and you're playing basketball, it's like fuck yeah, you want to play in America.
Of
This is like
course.
comics. So whatever it takes, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You want me to go sign up for this
Of
101 humanities course?
I'll
at
go to
Seton Hall?
Jersey.
Yeah.
I'll go to Jersey, get sucked off by girls with big hair for 6 months, and go to the NCAA
I
championship.
think he
From
played.
Australia, though, he's used to getting sucked off the other way.
That's right. Yeah.
did he play professionally in the NBA? Did he get?
I don't
dra-
think he ever did. I
got
think he went
signed?
back to the NBL.
Oh, he definitely played in Europe.
Yeah.
Andrew Gaze, but Gaze is like he's like the.
I got to look up his highlights. I don't know much about him.
Yeah, well, they went to Seton Hall. I mean, he had already played in the Olympics, and he was like 24
Yeah.
as a freshman.
I'm-
So it was like, they lost to Michigan in the champ. But he went all the way. He took Seton Hall to the fucking championship, and he was a great shooter in a time where, I mean, still in the college game, people aren't good shooters. So it's like he was, and Seton Hall had a pretty good like inside game, I think, before. So he was
Seton
like
Hall
the
was
perfect
legit.
complement.
He's also
They
a
were
grown ass
legit.
man.
Yeah, he's a grown man. Yeah.
Isn't it funny that college players used to be like the best NBA level and they were seniors?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? That's not a thing anymore.
No way, dude. 22-year-olds playing that are great.
I remember the Knicks having Luke Longley's contract at the very end, so we were paying him years after he retired. It was one of those painful moves where I was like, wait, we can't sign anyone because we're paying a retired guy.
The Knicks had no concept of the salary.
We're paying a guy.
It took them until 3 years ago to understand that they were playing with a salary cap. It was like, wait, what?
What? There's a salary cap? What does that mean?
We're paying a fucking like adult-looking Haley Joel Osment, and he's not even playing anymore. It was the most painful.
I think they probably just thought they were like the Yankees or something, where they could just be like, yeah, we'll just pay whatever.
That's so true.
Like whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, 5 years, 100 million, whatever.
Dolan's just like playing guitar. He's like, playing whatever. Dude.
Yeah, we can't afford Jacoby Ellsbury's. This is the NBA.
I gotta be the only guy to talk about this because you fuckers won't talk about it unless I'm here. I gotta talk about the Asians historical Asians in the NBA.
I would love to talk about
that.
First Asian to ever play in the NBA, Wat Mikasa. Shout out Japanese American Wat Mikasa.
Oh, Japanese.
Played in the NBA for the Knicks.
Wow.
Before the 3-point line.
What?
Signed out of Utah.
I don't even know
Look this guy up. His documentary.
Before the 3-point line, a Japanese American?
Yes, Japanese American dude. Wat Mikasa, first Asian guy in the NBA.
Wow.
Played for the Knicks.
I would have done more research on
Point guard.
than the all Asian BDL.
Dude, I can do the all Asian.
Yeah,
That's another episode. Let's do that another episode.
But the all Asian team is kind of depressing. But
But
yeah.
Well, you got
I think
Ejon Lee and the
Ejon
chair
Lee.
that he played against in that video. Ejon Lee fucking put buckets on that
I think
chair.
they're beating the all Jewish team.
Wait, okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
that's what we'll do. We'll come back, Ronnie. We'll do Jews
Asian
versus
versus
Asians.
Brutal. I mean, you still got
I'll throw in a couple Greeks. Well, we got Giannis now.
Dude,
it's awesome.
Jews versus Asians would be. We got Yao Ming at least. He's anchoring the team. Yao
That's
Ming.
huge for you.
And then
Amari Stoudemire. Yeah, you guys
we
got
have Amari. That's
Stop.
big.
Yeah.
Marbury's technically Asian
And
now,
they
right?
were-
Yeah,
He
he's been there long enough.
Amari and Yao were rookies the same year, and
Oh,
Amari
wow.
just squeaked out that Rookie of the Year on him.
Yes, that's true.
They were both killer rookies.
They were so
though.
good.
Yao Ming was great.
Poor
man.
Yao with his he just had a lot of
And he was a classy guy too. Yeah.
yeah, huge too. It's like
I just saw,
he's so but you see him
He's
next
huge.
to Shaq and he's
Yeah,
fucking
he dwarfs
bigger
Shaq.
than
Like I just saw a photo of Yao Ming yesterday on the internet of him drinking from a Gatorade bottle and he's holding it with like his thumb and his forefinger. No, for real. There's this video of him like holding this Gatorade, like the green one. You know the green Gatorade bottle.
yeah. Oh,
He's holding it with his pointing finger and his
Oh,
thumb.
my God.
And he's like squeezing it in his mouth.
There is
Do you
no
remember when-
more emasculating thing than if Yao Ming held your penis. It would be like I would kill myself.
There's no scenario where that should happen though. I feel like.
What if he goes into being a fucking urologist after his career? Yeah,
should
Ming
not have-
urology.
Dude, how about all right, so yeah, he was I remember when Shaq was incredibly racist to him in that interview, and ever since that interview I think somewhere it found out that he was Yao's hero,
Oh
and he
my
felt
God.
so shitty. And you
Yeah.
can see every interview afterwards. Shaq is like, he's the best big man ever, and now Shaq's like overcompensating, and
course.
it's like,
Yeah, that's funny. That's
Yao's great, but then Shaq's like, he's the best, and then I guess he met Yao's parents, and they're like, he
Yeah.
stayed with them, and he was like, they were like, you're his hero.
This is the only beds in China he could fit in. That's why he had to stay with them.
But that's like it's kind of amazing that like they just disarmed him.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
just like he loves you, and
Yeah.
Shaq's like, wow, I shouldn't have been racist. Like
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
how
Shaq
long
does seem like that. Like he wants to be a tough guy, but in his heart he is like
He's clearly a good
softie.
dude.
He is
Yeah.
clearly good, but also Shaq also wants to be a comedian. You know what I mean? So he was probably just like roasting and then
Yes,
just got
for
it wrong
sure.
like any civilian.
For
And just
sure.
went racist.
He went too far. Yeah, it's either racism or like, I hope you fucking die, bitch. And it's like, oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Oh,
Christ.
we love you.
Yeah.
We got to do this team.
Let's
Yeah,
go to
do a team.
the PDL.
Shout out Wang Zizi and shout out the other guy, the walking Great Wall of China. The three of them went into the NBA at the same time. Wang Zizi,
nice.
Yao Ming, and this I can't remember the Mongolian guy.
Oh, I don't remember.
yeah,
him
but
either,
anyway,
yeah.
But anyway, Wang
What
Zizi
about
with Dallas.
Rui Hachimura?
Oh yeah, Rory's my
He's
my
new
boy. Yeah,
on the
He's my boy
uh,
now. Jeremy Lin, shout out Jeremy Lin, obviously.
course.
We love
course.
Jeremy Lin, man.
Dude,
we
we
did
should do it.
we did a thing for Jeremy Lin last week.
Oh man, could
We're-
do a whole
we're
episode
fans.
on that.
Yeah, he
rewatch,
rules.
rewatch.
That's a good episode.
Linsanity?
Reliving Linsanity.
Yes,
Yeah.
reliving
With
Yo,
Ronnie. That would be
Yeah.
great.
Yo, yeah, I tell you, man, Linsanity all the way in Australia. I hit Australia.
Hell yeah.
And rewatching the documentary Linsanity by shout out Brian Yang. where they were just filming Jeremy Lin and then Linsanity happened.
Wow.
And they happened to be there for it.
Get the fuck out of here.
They were
I
just
didn't know
filming the
that.
story of this like Asian guy in the NBA, and then Linsanity happened. They happened to be there.
Oh my God.
And rewatching a documentary, remembering like, man, what a moment in time that
Absolutely.
was.
Damn, we got to watch that.
Where it fucking...
It's a great doc.
The whole country, the whole world was like put
Totally.
on a standstill because this goofy Asian dude was like just killing it
Crushing people.
in the NBA. Yeah,
I still remember how on fire he was
Yeah.
that Jeremy Lin hit that just ice cold shot in Toronto in Calderon's eye, and he basically turned around as he hit it, and it was like, oh, you didn't even have to watch it go in. You just knew.
He was that. He's on fire.
Yeah.
He truly had the
Killer.
flames.
Shout out Jeremy Lin, man. He's
Yeah.
my guy. Yeah,
He'll catch on to a team at some point.
Let's do. Who's your point guard on the all bar fight edition of PBL?
Yeah.
Who's starting at point?
Oof. This okay. I'm open to suggestions.
Okay,
but
we got
put,
some.
I will put Ron Artest in point guard.
Ron
Oh,
Artest.
you're starting big.
He was my small forward. But I love that.
Yeah.
Well-
put Ron Artest in point guard.
Yeah, let's talk Ron Artest
Because he
for
was a
three.
point guard.
Yeah, he was.
He
I mean,
was
he
a
had
point guard.
handles.
I think he came in as a point guard.
I think he's one of
listed-
those guys that had a growth spurt. I think he's like
Right.
one of those guys that had the skills and
Right.
like. But we'll talk about him more because you have him for three.
Yeah.
Let's go
Point
through
guard,
all
okay,
his
point.
bona fides.
Oh, you want to go Ron Artest right now?
No, we'll go by position by position.
But first of all, let's just talk about how undisputed Ron Artest is.
Oh, he's
as-
absolutely on the team.
as the
There's
team,
no
you know what I
way.
mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
On this all-time bar fight team. Oh, Ron Artest is.
Yeah, he's
because he
huge.
literally, it's not even hypothetical. He fought people.
Yeah,
in the-
yeah.
No, he was part Queensbridge, part Jack Nicholson, and one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Yeah.
He is a loose cannon.
Yes.
But he's lovable.
Yes, but
Yeah,
also
dude.
shout out to him for actually like becoming so much more stable later on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like he actually
Getting his
became
shit,
like a meta
figured
world
out.
piece. Like he actually.
Yeah, this
figured
is
it out.
Ron Artest, not Meta World Peace.
Yeah, yeah, this is Ron
we want
Artest.
Ron
Yeah,
Artest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we don't
Meta
want this-
World Peace.
yeah.
We want to
I just
like
thought I
do
should-
yoga with. You know what I mean? Like
I
have
just
some
thought
green tea.
I thought I'd just give a shout out to people who actually get their mental health
Of
in order.
course. Yeah. Because there's some people on my list that never put it together. I'll tell
Who's
you
your
that
point
much.
guard?
Point guard is actually definitely didn't put it together. Is Sebastian Telfair.
Wow.
And here's why: because he was. Remember, we were doing the show actually in 2017. He got arrested with 3 loaded pistols, ammo, an extended magazine, a ballistic vest, 2 Ziplocs of weed, and a gas-operated submachine gun.
Jeez.
Like the one that like you needed to put. You need
Like
to go
Dick
to the gas
Tracy.
station and get a. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's Dick Tracy.
Yeah, it's like. What was he gonna do with that?
We're gonna
Like,
rob.
yeah.
You're gonna rob a bank in the 40s. What the hell?
Wait, so what happened? Like
It's happening right now. He's guilty, and I think he's like in sentencing. The trial was hilarious because it was like his wife and his ex-mistress both testified against him.
Oh.
They're like, yeah, we saw his ass with guns.
Dude, the John Wick of the NBA. That's
yeah,
crazy.
dude, this guy isn't a bar fight, man. This guy is straight up,
Yeah.
you know, assassin.
If you needed to
man.
shoot
he's
down a
out of-
helicopter.
He's at one of the out of Coney Island. I mean, that's one of
Coney
the
Island.
Lincoln High.
Yeah.
One of the most badass
wasn't
neighborhoods.
he a street ball legend?
Yeah, he was a
Telfair.
Yeah, he was one of the, everyone was like next Marbury because he's Coney Island guy.
Well, the slam cover in high school was Telfair and LeBron.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Bassy, like everyone.
Telfair was supposed to. I mean, and he had all the
I
talent.
mean, he
It's
came
just-
out too early. I think he was on the Celtics.
Just mentally never put it together.
Yeah.
Never had the guidance. Never had.
Yeah,
the,
exactly.
Damn.
Yeah, came
Telfair.
straight to the league. I think he was a high school.
I'm gonna dispute this one though, because I don't think this is bar fight. This is
True.
This
Well,
is
then you're going to
shady.
dispute mine too.
Please.
Oh,
please.
who's yours?
Mine is No Chill Gil, Agent Zero, Gilbert
Arenas, baby.
I wanted to pick Isaiah Thomas, but let me read you just a thing from this.
There's so much good Gilbert stuff.
And he's like, this is a superstar,
Yes.
Gilbert Arenas.
Yes.
Superstar.
This is like the
Yes.
we're talking guns.
$100 million contract.
I remember.
Steph Curry's a shooter, but he's not this kind of shooter. This is from the article. So we know he had the beef with Javaris Crittenton,
course.
you know,
Yes.
over a card game. So
Yes.
this is where it starts. I just want to read a quote from this article. The plane lands, and now Javaris says to JaVale, as in JaVale McGee, so you're just going to let me lose my money like that? You ain't even going to be a real blank and give me a chance to get my money back? Arenas said. Arenas responded, Javaris, I will burn your car while you're in it. Then we'll find an extinguisher to help your ass out. I don't know why he's helping him out. And he says, well, I'll just shoot you then. And I said, man, I'll bring you the guns to shoot me. It's a strange form of trash talk right there. But
That's a very straight.
I'll burn your car while you're in it.
2 days later, on December
Yes,
21st,
I know this story.
2009, the locker room confrontation took place. Hey, expletive, come pick one, Arena said. And he
Oh
told
my
Quinton,
God.
as he pointed to 4 unloaded guns he had laid out, I'm going to shoot your blank with one of these. Quinton responded by pulling his own gun. one which Arena said was loaded. So he's got 1 loaded versus Arenas' 4 unloaded.
Respect.
Both were suspended the rest of 2009-10 season. Each faced criminal charges in Washington.
Yeah, you can't have a gun in D.C. Gil had 4. I forgot.
Some of the stiffest, yeah, you're right. Some of the stiffest gun laws in Washington.
Yeah.
Quinton was arrested on suspicion of murdering a woman in Atlanta in
Yeah,
August 2011 and pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison in 2015. So Javaris can be a rotation player. He doesn't have the star power. He doesn't have the star power to be a.
but
to be
will
a star.
commit murder.
But that's, I mean, Arenas
Guys.
superstar.
Yeah,
crazy.
respect.
He in his
He
prime,
rules, dude. I love Gilbert.
I remember him dropping 62 on Kobe.
Yeah, yeah,
On fire.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
Gilbert.
know what? We might have gypped him because he might have been one of the infidelity all-stars. He was
Arenas.
yeah, we'll do I'll do a deep dive. He on Instagram, it's so funny, dude. He mocks his ex when he beats her in family court.
What?
He's like, you can't see me in family court. And he's just like LOLing and shit, and like crying emojis and shit like that. He is one of the funniest, most disrespectful people.
His Instagram's strong.
He's got a great Instagram.
He
I
was
love
one.
him.
He was
and he's
one
got
of my
a
favorite
he's got a good
players.
podcast. I mean, a competitor, a colleague, the No Chill podcast, which he has some of the best takes. It's fun to get a completely
Yes.
different perspective.
Yes,
So-
Gilbert. Yeah.
Let's put Gilbert.
All time enigma team for sure.
Yes.
Just like crazy character,
Yes.
very interesting stories. Again, I don't know. You guys took the bar fight thing and elevated it to like who do you
pure-
want to in a war situation?
That's true.
Yeah, you guys really elevated it with the content.
We might have gotten carried away, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Look.
Any other point guard?
I had Isaiah Thomas in the mix. Just
Iverson
pure
just because
toughness.
he's tough. Iverson just
True.
like as a guy that
But he
in
could-
his prime.
But an Isaiah Thomas, a Streets of Chicago guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to not put
Okay.
people from the Bad Boys Pistons on this
Yeah.
starting
Yeah.
five.
It's almost like the Bad Boys Pistons and then also the Jailblazers.
Oh,
It's like two
yes.
teams that are almost like they're. It's like the maybe individually they're not as badass as some people. But they're like that Argentina team that won gold. You know what I mean? Like as a unit, as a collective, they
That's
will
true.
fuck your ass up.
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
though one on one.
Did we miss anyone? Point guard?
Point guard? I can't know.
Nah,
I mean,
point guard.
Iverson. That's pretty good.
Gary
Yeah.
Payton's a badass.
More of a trash talker
More
though.
trash
True.
talker.
We should do a.
But you need a trash
talk
talker in your
episode.
crew.
That's true.
If you're
That's
the
true.
badass team, you need
That's
the guy to
true.
run his mouth a little bit.
All right, so let's move on to shooting.
Shooting
guard.
guard. Who do you
yeah.
got as shooting guard?
Shooting guard. I'm all ears for this one.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Yeah.
I got
Go ahead.
Sprewell.
Start with Sprewell.
I got
Sprewell.
Spree at the 2.
Sprewell, yeah.
Spree's my guy. Spree was
Yes.
once rude to me in Milwaukee in a bar, and I was sad until I realized that's what you want.
yeah.
That's what you want from Spree. Like this guy choked his coach. He's clearly in his
Sprewell's
start.
great.
I mean, to choke his coach and it
Yes.
just be like not even. It shows how badass he was.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a dick to me in Milwaukee. Then when we had our show.
He was great.
He was great, but he was the only guy who wouldn't do like we would do jokey sketches
That's
up top.
true.
He was the only guy who said no.
Wow.
And I kind of respected it because like this guy is just so
It's like, no, I don't want to.
He's like,
He's
nah.
wearing sparkly Gucci loafers.
Yes.
Remember his Gucci sneakers? They were like jewel encrusted.
You only respect him because he's the Knicks guy.
I'm
If he
gonna
was
tell-
anyone else, you'd be like, fuck this guy.
Of course, man. That's the guy. But I loved Spree, and also I'll tell the whole story of him being a dick to me on another podcast in a bar in Milwaukee. I was randomly in Milwaukee for a gig. They told me he was going to be at this bar. I was like, he won't be there. She said he's there every night. He's fucking Kenny Powers.
Damn.
So he'd be there every night, and I'll tell you, man, I was scared he wasn't going to walk in. You better believe he walked
was
in a
there.
tracksuit
Yes.
and red hair.
Red. That's right. The red cornrow days.
And I asked him what he drank, and he drank Honey Jack. So shout out to Honey Jack.
respect. That's some
and
product placement.
We'll do the entire Spree story another app for sure.
Sprewell, great choice.
That's a good shooting
That's
guard
a great.
point.
That's a great
So here's
bar fight guy.
mine is one that's almost the opposite. He is the dick that not only would you not that you would hate, New York fans hate Vernon Maxwell.
I hate
Mad
you for
Max.
this.
Yeah,
I'm mad at you for this. He was checking my boy John Starks when Starks shot 2 for 18.
He
in
really
Game 7.
was, man.
Vernon Maxwell
And he
pisses me off.
he shot that 3 that fucking iced the game.
Houston, right? He's Houston.
Yeah, Houston. In his prime, Houston.
This hurts.
He was with Olajuwon. He was like, and he was I'm sorry.
It hurts.
And here's the thing: if the fight happens in New York fans will be too emotional when they see him. So I'll have the advantage there. Psychological advantage. But I mean, just to go. I mean, he's a horrible guy. Don't get me wrong. This guy is a fucking piece of shit.
You don't have to tell me.
95. He ran into the stands and punched a fan, which is awesome. Before we only got 10 games for it. They were just like, yeah, that's fine. Like it wasn't a brawl. Before the brawl,
He was the Lenny Bruce of going to the crowds and punching.
Yeah,
he was the pioneer.
Yes, he walked so Ron Artest and Steven Jackson could run. The Rosa Parks of assaulting fat white men in the stands.
They put the bench that he punched the fan on in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, in the African American History Museum. But yeah, he's a piece of shit. He was sentenced to 50 hours of community service because during a road rage incident, he pressed his cock on the glass of his car.
What?
He showed the guy his cock.
Damn.
So he's down to fight dirty. And not only this, he's got a horrific herpes-ridden penis. He had to pay a woman money for giving her herpes. He was sentenced to like paying her like $750,000 for giving her herpes.
Can you imagine being a judge and be like, "Hey, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't just give someone herpes.
That's not okay."
And he's such a piece of shit that his son, he has like an illegitimate child that was 6'6" in high school, and the kid was like, "I'm not playing basketball. I don't want to be anything like my dad."
Wow.
6'6" in high school, like a freshman year. And the only time he was ever in his life, like the mom was like, I read up on him. She was like, he's never reached out. He never did anything. And then one day out of the blue, he came and he was like, I want to be in my son's life. And he like took him to like get toys and get lunch. But what that's what he told her. He actually took him to get a paternity test to double check it was his kid.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the only time he's ever been in his son's life. And he gave him $40 to try and bribe him not to snitch. And of course the kid was like, I'm telling my mother this happened. and then once it was confirmed he was his dad, left again.
Damn.
A piece of shit.
This guy, so he's not as much a bar fighter as much just a absolute scumbag.
Absolute scumbag. But listen, we'll whip out his dick. He's got, you know what I mean?
Look,
he'll do whatever it takes to win the fight.
I'm saying he's not on the team.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, Stav, again, I think you're kind of missing.
punch the fan at least.
Yeah, I mean,
true.
With his dick out.
Punch the fan, whip the dick out, I guess shows.
Has herpes.
Yeah. Look, if you punch the fan, I'm gonna put you on the team, like because
Okay,
that's
nice.
That helps.
Yes.
that definitely
Certainly
shows that you
helps.
have what it takes to be on a bar fight
That's
team.
right.
You've got the will to win.
Yes.
I got at my 3. We got Meta World Peace, or rather Ron Artest.
Right.
Meta is a little too late.
I'm open to actually playing him at point guard because none of the point guards are even that.
That's
Yeah.
a great
Yeah,
point.
so that we can shift everyone down a position because you want to be bigger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Drank Hennessy at halftime, famously.
Respect.
His father was completely crazy, but made him so tough. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the documentary.
The Joe Jackson
Yes.
theory of child
He
rearing.
worked at Circuit City in an off season.
Wow.
He was just like, I'll just work at Circuit City. And Elton Brand was like, is that you? Like, that's a level of crazy. It's not like he needed the money.
Yeah.
He was that crazy doesn't sleep.
He just needed, he couldn't be left to his own devices. He was
you
like, I'll
imagine-
restock this.
It's like in The Office when Steve Carell shows up and Dwight is in there and he's like, this is not good.
Yeah.
You know? It's-
Yeah. Artest, man.
Artest is good. We've already talked about it a little bit. Mine is Steven Jackson.
That's
Captain
another
Jack.
fighter.
He's good. I even think doing some research, I am more in love with this pick because he was even tougher than obviously he fucked 3 people up he knocked out 3 guys at the Malice at the Palace. Yeah. And then I watched an interview he did it's a great interview he did with Lebitard about it was incredible.
Yeah.
Where he was like, let me say this. All those racial slurs I done heard, all those things about my mom, my basketball game, and my kids, and all this, it felt good to punch a fan one time. I'm not gonna lie, he's awesome.
Dude, I remember back in the day, I must have been 19. I was opening for Bill Burr at my college, and Burr had a bit on Malice in the Palace, and the bit was such a good take. It was, he's like, I loved it. I loved it. He's like, because what do we always yell to fans? Come up here. Come up here, you pussy. He's like, well, they came on up. I thought that was the perfect take.
Yeah. Steven Jackson did an interview about, I think it was like, for some reason, the 10-year anniversary of Malice in the Palace.
Yeah.
ESPN chose to celebrate it on ESPN.
That rules.
Oh, yeah. You see ESPN or some sports thing, and Steven Jackson was talking about how Ron Artest never, thanked him for having his back, because Artest was the one who went into the stands, and Steven Jackson backed him up.
Yep.
And then he got fined and suspended, and Ron Artest was never like, thanks, man.
That fight ruined their. That
team
crazy.
Was so good.
They should have won a ring.
Were so good,
dude. Jermaine O'Neal.
That was the year they might have put it
is
together.
Still I don't really forgive him.
Yeah. Wow.
Because Jermaine O'Neal could be an NBA champion.
Totally. That year they definitely could have won.
He was a 20-10 guy, O'Neal. He was a killer.
So I don't know. Jackson going into the stands definitely gets into the team. If you punch a fan,
well, hold on. I have more.
Yeah, I'm just saying Jackson. I feel like he's a very calm. You know, when he talks, he's
sure,
like,
but let me, because that's what I thought too. So first, I didn't know this. So Jackson also raps. He's a rapper, and one time Steve Francis happened to be at the club that he was doing a performance in, and he kept interrupting him, and he choked Steve Francis on stage because he wouldn't stop fucking with him because they don't even know each other. At a different time, someone ran him over with a car outside of a strip club, and he started shooting his gun at
Steven
Jackson. Someone ran him over.
The NBA didn't discipline this?
He did. I think he got in trouble, but it was like warning shots. He didn't shoot at him. I don't know if that makes a difference.
It's a great defense.
Yeah.
I shot it into the air.
Well, and the other thing about him is that you guys should all go see the Le Batard interview.
Yeah.
It's so good. But he was like, he said he didn't really get a chance to show what he could do at the Malice at the Palace. He was like, you have more fun when people fight you back. He was like,
wow,
that's awesome. Yeah.
And I mean, he grew up in Port Arthur, Texas. Shit was rough. He tells.
I get what he's saying though.
He told a story about one of his boys was getting arrested for selling drugs, and they knew that the cops might be lenient on Steve because he was he was a star, everyone knew him. So he got in, took drugs from the fucking trap house, left with it. Cops stopped him on the way out. They're questioning him while he has drugs on him, and he's so ice cold. He didn't snitch. He didn't say anything. He just fucking left with it. He's got ice water in his veins. Wow. And then the other thing is
he had that too in his game though. He wouldn't back down.
And he's such a good teammate. That's why I think that's his thing. He's loyal. That's why he's on the fucking. And dude, I don't know this. Team, yeah. His dad or his brother got fucking 3-on-1 jumped. They killed him hitting him with. They killed his brother, hit him with pipes.
That's
and
awful.
Steven Jackson's like, I wish I was there. He wants to he doesn't regret stop. He didn't, what he regrets is he would have fought them with him. He still to this day is so just I want that motherfucker on my team. Yeah.
Also for what it's worth, he was on San Antonio and he, at the end of his career.
Yeah.
And he was just on the team and
at the beginning too. He got a ring with them and at the end as well.
Yeah. And
he turned down a pretty big contract with them. That's how he ended up on the Pacers.
Right. And Greg Popovich actually had to ask him to leave the team because he was too intimidating. And Steven Jackson was like, I don't know how you can be too intimidating to professional basketball players. Because they were asking him Greg Popovich asked him to leave the team. He's like, yo, you're just too intimidating.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And you're intimidating the other players too much. And then he was like, you guys are professional basketball players.
Yeah, you're grown men.
Yeah, what the hell? How the hell?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of scared though.
He rules. Yeah.
But he is. I mean, he's also great on every show he's on. He's great on Coward.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah. Greg Popovich also said, Steven Jackson, no one knows what Steven Jackson is doing on defense because Steven Jackson doesn't know what he's doing on defense. Something like that, yeah. There's some quote
I mean, so I love Captain Jack. He's fucking, and Tim Duncan called him the ultimate teammate. So it's good guy.
Yeah.
Should we move on to 4?
My 4, I'll tell you, is an obvious choice as a New Yorker.
Oh, no.
Charles Oakley, baby.
Oh!
And I feel like he'll show up with Mason if Mason was still alive. So that's also, Oakley's in his 50s.
With a Ouija board, he'll have Mason. He'll do a seance.
but Oak and Mace was the toughest front court ever. And then Oak, he's in his 50s, but he still will never. He's like Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time. Yeah. Where you're just he's in his 50s, but who would you rather have?
Yeah.
Oakley's fearless.
Oakley, I've said this many times now, Oakley's the only NBA player who is still adding to his NBA fight compilation video after retiring. He retired and he's still like fighting James Nolan. He's fighting security.
I was at that game. That was insane.
Yeah.
Also, Stav and I had that show on MSG shortly after that, and I remember seeing Oakley at the Big Three, and I went up to him with my mic, and it said MSG, and he looked at it and smacked it out of my hands. And it was like the child in me died. But there was also a part of me that was like, it's Oak, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta
Sam,
respect that.
Have you ever met any Nick where you didn't have a bad experience with? It sounds like every single Nick you met treated you like shit.
Here's the good
Starks.
news. Starks was great.
That's what I mean.
Wallace
Jeremy
was great.
Lin. Jeremy Lin is great.
Great
Jeremy
guy.
Lin,
Yeah, I love Jeremy. But then, Oak and Spreewell, I turned it around.
That's
Spree
true.
and I,
Spree came on the show.
but Oak, we shot a sketch for Bleacher Report that never aired, but I spent the whole day with him, and we got along really well. And at one point I said to Oak, this was like the Nick fan in me that just lit up. We had some downtime in between takes, and I said, you, Harper, Starks, Mace, and Ewan are like why I love basketball. And he said, that means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
And that to me was like,
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
back.
Yeah, Oakley's a great pick, and I'll tell you what. Oakley was such a fierce fighter that even Michael Jordan didn't fuck with him.
Yes.
Michael Jordan actually co-opted him.
Yes.
So that
if you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah,
They were best friends.
Imagine this is Michael Jordan, the same Michael Jordan who punched Steve Kerr in the face, the same Michael Jordan who doesn't who trash talk anybody.
Yeah.
With Oakley, he was the one who couldn't trash talk.
Well, he was on the Bulls, right?
It's going to be
hard.
hard.
To the Knicks.
It's going to be hard to talk me out of putting Oakley at 4 in this team. But also,
I think Oakley 4.
But also, how about the clip when he's fucking with a young Pippen, and you could just see Pippen is terrified.
Dude, everyone's terrified.
Everyone's terrified.
Yeah.
Oakley. Yeah, that was what I remember. In they aired this in Singapore where he was on Toronto or something or some team, and then he was like shooting free throws and. I guess he was gonna fight a fellow teammate, and the other teammate picked up like a basketball hoop, like the actual hoop, and was like and he was gonna like hit Oakley with it. Everyone was like stopping the player, and Oakley was just shooting free throws. I didn't even care. He was ignoring it. Yeah, because he must have done some altercation, like some crazy. But anyway, the fact that Michael Jordan co-opted Oakley as his protector in the Bulls
still to this day.
Yeah,
Oakley is still to this day his protector.
They're boys, yeah.
And he's almost like a private chef. He's
Yeah.
like your boy in the crew that's like, I'm cooking tonight.
Yes,
And
yes,
you're like,
yes,
so
yes.
you're the muscle and you're a
Yeah.
real cook.
Versatile too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
He made it far on Chopped.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that
he came
episode.
and great episode.
Ooh, I gotta
dude.
watch.
Strong
Oakland
at
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Stav, who's your 4?
So I think Oakley just for but I think KG is a good pick. here.
KG.
Just because of like how insane he is. I mean, I think it's Oakley,
He
but
is
for
insane.
like fun, like
I got a better pick than
lunacy.
Oakley, but sorry.
Okay,
go for
Better?
it.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, let me just say
Go
real quick,
KG, yeah.
just a couple fun
Please.
KG anecdotes.
Please.
This is a Tyrone Lue quote. Howard Beck wrote a great oral history of KG on Bleacher Report. You guys should fucking read. But here's a Tyrone Lue quote. So one day we were at his house. We were watching Puff Daddy's show, Making the Band. And in one of the scenes, some new guys came in and were trying to sing and were trying to compete against the guys who had been there. And KG just got so hyped. Motherfucker, you got to stand up for yours. You got to fight, motherfucker. You got to come together. He's going crazy. He's sweaty. And he just headbutts the wall and put a hole in the wall of his house. KG gets so hyped watching reality TV singing competitions that he fucking headbutts his own wall.
Yeah.
That's a guy that's
solid.
Yeah. But again,
But yes, insane.
But then he has moments where like his trash talk is like. Remember when they won the championship and he was like, "Anything is possible."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a little
Yeah, it
rough.
is
I'll
possible.
give him the championship though.
He
I
also-
give him the. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
Absolute competitor.
Yeah,
Love
absolute,
KG.
absolute competitor, great basketball player. I think his craziness is very positive, though.
True.
I mean, the only time,
Not
not violent. It's very positive, like positive energy, crazy energy, but positive. One time he trash talked Carmelo Anthony's wife. Remember that with the
Yes.
Fruit Loops thing, and then
I
Carmelo Anthony
think
lost
it was
his mind.
I think it was Honey Nut
Cheerios.
Cheerios. Yeah.
Fruit Loops is a much better smell. Than Honey Nut Cheerios. Fruit Loops. Honey Nut Cheerios is like is an overrated cereal. In my
I don't
opinion.
know. If a pussy tasted like Honey Nut Cheerios, I would be pretty ecstatic about
But if it
that.
tasted like Fruit Loops, you'd be even happier.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining now, to be clear. But
I don't know what you call it, but KG and Gilbert Arenas are definitely on the same team. I don't know what that team is
Yes,
called,
that's
but
true.
this is
the
like,
mental illness also.
No,
Yeah,
but it's not even
yeah,
mental
yeah.
illness. It's something
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know what it is.
right,
But
yeah.
but here's the pick. Oakley is great, but here's someone, and I think you could move him to instead of Steven Jackson. I don't know. Steven Jackson's
Yeah.
a great pick though, but maybe instead of shooting guard. Who's our shooting guard? Who's yours?
Spree, but you can't put Oak at the
Spree.
2.
Okay, here it is. Dennis Rodman.
Oh,
Ooh,
true.
the
Yeah.
worm.
Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman was. I think he's a great bar fight dude.
That's
But he's a
true.
great bar fight guy like Gold Dust in WWE. You know what I mean? Well, I'm like, I don't know if this is.
Well, there's different versions. If you get hungry, young Detroit, will do anything for the team. Rodman, that's a straight up bar guy. But towards the end, when he's got the
Bulls?
cheetah hair, and it's like, yeah, that's Gold Dust. That's like,
But Rodman, man, I mean, the guy clearly didn't care about his body.
don't
He
you
was-
think he's
True.
part of the Gilbert Arenas KG
He is.
crew?
He
like,
is.
Damn.
They,
But he leans towards the. You know,
Yeah.
he one time he kicked a cameraman in the dick. Do you remember that when he was
Wow, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
he
That's
kicked.
awesome.
Yeah, he like the camera guy was just filming him, and then I guess he landed on him because he was trying to get a ball, and Rodman turned around and just kicked that guy in the dick, and the guy would like he was already sitting down, but he just like fell over on his side. Like,
wow.
That's a WWE move, though.
That's
Yeah.
literally
the move
Gold
where,
Dust's
like,
move.
Where he like poses
He would
and everyone's
literally-
like, boo.
yeah.
dude, you gotta put him on the team.
The
Rodman.
worm, the
Interesting.
worm is making a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, also, honorable mention is Barkley in his
Barkley,
prime.
yes.
He remember he threw that fan through a plate glass window.
But the problem with Barkley is that like, he never went at Oakley. Like Oakley
True,
was
true.
in all these guys' heads. As
Yeah.
tough as they all were,
Yeah.
True.
everyone was
It's
kinda
Oak. Oak is the 4 for sure.
Didn't
And it makes
Oakley-
me so happy.
Didn't Oakley fight? I know Barkley fought Shaq.
Yeah.
I watched that fight
Yes,
multiple
yes,
times.
yes.
Did Oakley fight Shaq?
I don't think so.
They
Sam,
didn't.
you
They
would
didn't
know. I don't
overlap a
know.
ton. There was. I think they had moments for sure. Oakley is meaner.
Oakley would have been at
No,
Toronto
Oakley-
at that point, right?
Oakley for sure, but I'm just saying if they ever actually fought. Because I know Barkley and Shaq fought. And
Yeah.
when Barkley fought Shaq, I was like, whoa, this guy like.
I
doesn't
gave
kinda
Barkley
care.
respect for that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Barkley was tough.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to talk about the 5? I mean, on some level,
5, please,
it
go.
might just be Shaq because of pure.
Pure size.
I got to go
Size.
against it, but
go.
but
What are you thinking?
well, Jason Williams is my
Oh
5.
yeah, this is more the murder. We've got a couple guys. Yeah.
Jason
yeah.
Williams is a 5.
Oh yeah, it was led the league in rebounding for at least a couple. He was like a 16 board a game guy
Yeah.
in the net. He was a-
Jason Williams.
well,
No,
you
not
think-
Jay Williams, the Duke guy who fucked his
Jason
shit up on a
Williams.
motorcycle. The guy who killed his
His
was it?
chauffeur.
Chauffeur.
What? I don't remember this center at all.
Well,
Oh,
here's
yeah,
the
he
thing.
was on the- he played
in
for
the
the
90s, a very good rebounder. I wanted to say Willis Reed as a Knicks fan because Willis Reed was one of the toughest players ever. Like you just look at his toughness on the court, back down from no one.
I think that's some Nick shit.
of course it is. Of course it is. But
Willis
Will-
Reed on the all-time bar fight team. Come on, man.
oh, dude, look him up, dude. He's a bad. But the
All
pro-
those guys deserve credit for flying coach too. They're
Exactly.
7-footers in coach.
That guy never shot his chauffeur because he was riding the subway. That was a different time. But no, but Willis Reed, if you look him up, dude, people were scared of him because
Yeah.
he was one of those silent tough guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This guy-
I met Jason Williams in a bar once.
Whoa.
You
And
fought him.
Yeah,
And that's why you put him
no,
on the team.
it was during one of the hurricanes when everything was out, and I remember just being hammered. It was at the Turkey's Nest in Williamsburg.
Oh, I
which
know
is
that bar.
A real shithole dive
Real
bar,
shithole,
but like
yeah, yeah.
kind of a.
It's
so-
nice, it's fun.
So shitty that it's awesome.
Exactly.
And I went up to him. I was like, Jason Williams, and he was like, "Hey, man." And we talked for a while, and he asked what I do. I said, "I'm a comedian," and he goes, "Oh, I love comedy. I'll come to a show." He gave me his email, and I lost it.
What a
Is this
dumbass.
pre-post murder?
This was post murder.
What the fuck?
Hey, he served his time.
Again, you guys are confusing bar fight team with straight up who has the most firepower and who has done the most murders. It's a fine line, but you guys definitely
Okay.
crossed
All
it.
right, all
All right,
and,
so we're
uh,
moving them off the team. Ronnie's got a point.
Yeah. We'll do the
Yeah.
all criminal team.
Yeah,
This
this,
is-
is the reason we put Carmelone off the infidelity
That's
team.
right. That's right.
He broke laws.
Yes, that's true.
I got one pick for you that you guys aren't gonna like for the center. Just
Okay.
the center is
Hit me.
who's the Detroit Pistons?
Bill Lambier.
Lambier.
That's a great pick.
I thought of Lambier too.
Lambier is freaking maiming people. Larry Bird hated him. He's,
And not just that, he also is like a rich white guy.
Oh, was he?
Who's
Huh.
got like a CEO dad. So if the cops get called, Lambier talks to him. You know what I mean?
That's great.
Yeah.
You want him on your team.
You want him on your
He
team to
grew
deal
up
with
in like
police.
country clubs and stuff, so I respect his crazy is so pure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas like it wasn't out of necessity. He was just a fucking crazy guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
For that guy and Isaiah Thomas to become like the best of friends.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful marriage in a way.
It really is.
For
yeah.
someone like that, from that background, to be able to kick in the NBA and fight all these other players, he must be truly crazy.
And he
Yes.
also
Yeah.
he was a mind game guy too, where
Yeah.
players Larry Bird he did our show and he said Larry Bird still won't talk to him.
Yeah,
Larry Bird said, Larry Bird on camera said, I respected everyone. People were tough and we got into fights. Lambier's the only one I hated because he tried to maim you.
Yeah. Well,
He tried to end your career.
Yeah.
He would put his foot out after you took a shot. He like
Well, give
tries.
Mahorn credit too, because that was the way Mace and Oak were crazy together.
Yes.
Mahorn and
yeah.
Sure.
And
Well,
yeah.
the other thing about him
Also,
is
we need
that-
some diversity on this all bar fight
Yeah,
team.
yeah,
It's a little, it's a little heavy on one side, you know.
I'm not against putting Lambier at the
I think
five. I kinda
Lambier,
like it.
yes,
Yeah.
Lambier for talking to the cops alone. The other thing about Lambier, I think people did hate him so much because he's a good WNBA coach, and he can't break into the league. And a lot of people think it's because a lot of the players that like are in executives now played with him and literally hate him.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
hilarious.
So yeah,
That's
all right,
hilarious.
I like that.
So we got what?
Let's start. So Lambier, we'll put him at the center.
Lambier.
We'll put
I love
Oakley.
Oakley at 4.
Lambier, when he did our show, we didn't have a second guest, and we had to do 2 episodes in a day.
Yeah.
And I remember just switching someone out. And at the end of it, Lambier goes, "Did you just trick me into doing 2 episodes?" And I said, "I'm sorry, we had no other guests." And he was like, he almost gave me like a well played. It was almost like a respect thing.
Yeah,
Did he try to trip you on your way out?
Oh, dude, he's so kind of sinister. That the
he
way
was. There was a vibe. Yeah.
Where like the way he
was
talked
cool,
about it, he
though.
goes, "No, I have no problem with Larry Bird." And I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh,
yeah.
you're good."
It's
Yeah.
white supremacy, dude.
I don't hate other races. I'm just saying white race
Yeah.
should be proud of being white. I'm not saying
Everyone should be proud to be what they are and be separate. To celebrate themselves.
So anyway,
all right. So
I have one honorary mention.
please.
hit us.
One more, Nick.
Fucking hell, man.
This guy came under the tutelage of Oakley, and dude, Larry Johnson was a badass.
True.
Guys,
But it doesn't. It is mixed
Johnson's
up.
not the all bar fight team.
Yeah.
Former boxer, UNLV, which is
Okay.
a tough. That was a tough team. Stacey Augmon, all those
Yeah.
guys. Okay, chose to dress like a woman, and no
That's
one
true.
said shit.
Yes.
in the 90s.
In the 90s.
that was not a progressive time
that's
to be
true.
cross-dressing.
I don't think he's a very progressive guy, though. To be fair.
LJ,
Yeah.
Dude,
one of the nicest dudes.
He was
might
cool,
have the
yeah.
skills. He definitely has the skills, but he doesn't have the darkness.
the cruelty.
Right. Yes. He's
I'm
got
just
all the
saying
physical
an
tools.
honorable
There's a lot of
mention.
guys in the NBA that have the physical tools. It's about. This is about
This is about-
temperament.
This is about temperament
Yeah,
and
yeah,
physical.
yeah.
So
Okay,
we got.
so Artest is running point.
Well,
Okay,
that's running
Artest.
point.
We got a shaky handle,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll make it up on defense.
Artest, Sprewell,
At the 2.
Jackson, or Rodman.
I think I take Jackson.
I would take Jackson too, just because Rodman leans enough towards the all crazy, like the Arenas and
Yeah.
KG zone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Jackson being so like.
But okay, here's
About
interesting
it.
then Jackson versus Rodman in a straight up bar fight. Ooh. That's tough
I
to
would
call.
take Jackson, honestly.
You would take Jackson over Rodman?
I think I would.
Wow.
Well, what size are they? Oh man.
I mean, we're talking strength.
Wow, this is good. This is a good.
But the thing, Rodman has a crazy like when he had to guard. When he had to guard
dude. Jackson
Karl
wants
Malone,
to fucking go
but
back
you know
in time
Karl Malone would
and fight.
Karl Malone would kill Rodman in a fight.
True.
But Rodman would get so in his head that he wouldn't be the same even after he fucked him up.
Jackson, I feel like his hat has just seen more shit, dude. Than
Actually, Malone and Rodman actually fought in the ring.
that's
Yeah.
true.
They wrestled together. Yeah,
That was a great plot
that was a
line.
crazy. It was a crazy plot line.
It was wild.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's just say Jackson.
Let's say Jackson,
or,
Oakley,
Oakley,
Lambier.
Lambier.
Oakley's definitely the 4.
Oakley's
Yeah.
definitely the
So
he's the
Lambier,
captain.
Respect,
Oakley. He's the
Charles.
captain.
Yeah, yeah.
Lambier, Oakley, Jackson, Sprewell, and Ron Artest.
Yes.
All bar
Lambier's
fight
in
team.
there. I
with
love that team.
Rodman as the reserve.
Rodman's the reserve coming off the
reserve.
bench.
This
Come
would be a
on,
fun
yeah.
team to play on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
That would be a great team to play. Yeah.
I love it, dude.
Don't know who could beat them. You would need to create a team of strong people who you would have to motivate them to fight. Like this is a hard team to fight.
Yes,
you would need
yes,
like
yes.
Shaq, you would need like
Right.
Malone, and you need them to be like angry or something.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Shaq is too kind.
That's what I mean. You could find a team that's stronger,
Right.
but not a team that's like just meaner
Yeah,
and crazier
this
and
team-
just
this team- yes.
up for just going at it.
This
in
team
a
could
bar.
crush people
Yeah.
mentally.
You see where I'm coming from, though, guys?
Yes.
This wasn't about how many
How
guns
many
you
guns?
had.
Yeah, how many machine
How many,
guns?
or how many people you've murdered with weapons. Look, this is about bar fighting. You took it to a place that really...
Yeah.
Ronnie, I'm sorry.
A little dark, but
we went too far, and that's why we need guests like you
Yes,
to
to
bring
bring
us
us
back.
back.
in.
Yeah.
Stav and I are way too on this fucked up wavelength.
100%. I had more guys.
This
that
was
just
a this was a
committed
great
murder.
episode.
Great episode, buddy. Thank you so much for doing it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Any road dates or anything you want to plug?
No, but when does this come out?
Probably
next
next week.
Next week? Okay, well, I'll just say it right now. The tickets are on sale right now, but I'm filming my Netflix special in LA
Nice.
September 27th, so come down if you guys
Cool.
can, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely go see that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll
Thanks,
be in
man.
Boston this weekend, so get tickets at stavi.biz/tour.
Hate that website.
And
I
then
hate that.
Oakland the weekend after. So come out to those guys.
Denver Comedy Works Friday through Sunday, baby. That's the 16th through the 18th. So
That's
come
right.
on out.
Thanks again, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Ronnie.
guys.
That's the show, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Dude, so good, dude.